Hello, this is Jake with Golden Fox Farms. It is a bitterly cold third day of January. We have a ice storm bearing down on us. But rather than looking at highs when it's cold, I figured we could look at the videos I shot of harvesting honey back in the nice warm days of June and July. I hope you enjoy it. Now, before we get into things, I should point out I use fume boards to get bees out of supers. A fume board is just a shim, like a 2-inch tall shim, with felt, and I use brake aluminum or siding aluminum on top of it, and it's just stapled together. As I go through and smoke these hives, we see these are some rather tall stacks. There's a lot of spare equipment on these hives because this was late in our honey production season. I was going for extracting honey. You want to have extra boxes on those hives so they have enough room to get everything done. This is the fume boards going on. The fume boards have been treated with Be Quick or Go or some sort of spray, and they're getting warmed up by the sun. That's producing vapors. It's pushing the bees down from those supers to the boxes below. And I'll come through here and gather these supers once the bees are pushed out of them. Now, off screen, I'm treating those supers with a leaf blower to get the last few bees out, and then stacking them in the truck bed in a way that keeps other bees from entering them. The empty boxes that we put out front, those were the spare supers that didn't really have any honey in them. There's still bees in them, but we don't need to force the bees out with the fume boards. We can just park those out front and let the bees egress at their own speed. You can see on the second stack I had a number of strange hives back there, a number of double nukes with shared supers on them. Those did yield honey for me this year. So that's pretty solid considering I also got nukes out of them for retail. That there is a double queen colony, so I'm making sure if there's a queen or not in that top box. And in fact, there was. That colony remained double queened for a rather long time. And here's a different stand, and here I am reloading my smoker with some of the grass we had piled up. The hive on the left here is rather tall. It was 6 boxes, and I'm pushing the bees down with that fume board, and I'm getting through it. And I do get all the supers off of here, but this was a rather large hive. So we're not going to want to just leave it as a single when we're done. And leaving that fume board on there, it can drive the bees down through several of the boxes. Now, these have a couple bees left in them. I'll show you how I deal with that here shortly. And here's that queen excluder that can kind of trap the bees while you're using a fume board. Now, since this is a single, I'm checking this bottom box just to make sure we're queen right. We are. There was cat brood on that frame. That's all I needed to see. So now I can deal with putting another deep on that box so they have plenty of room for the rest of the year and getting those supers cleared out. For that, I use the leaf blower. And then park them in the truck bed in a way to keep the bees from robbing it afterwards. Now, doubling back to these colonies, on the left, I had 2 pairs of double nukes that were side by side akin to Mike Palmer's brood factories, and I had supers on top of these. When the supers come off, there's a lot of bees in these boxes still, so I still need to give them room. So I'll go ahead and super them with deeps to take into winter. I put them on top. You could put them in the middle. That would stall out their swarming urges even more. These boxes had new queens. It really wasn't a concern for me. I do put the tin lids on, and then I put a 10 frame cover on top of them. That 10 frame cover is just there to keep those lids from blowing off, to give me time to come back and strap them down proper. The last thing we do is we send these down to the extraction area using this ramp. I used to carry supers down these stairs. These stairs are nightmarish. We don't want to do that. The ramp lets it go down there. Someone down below can pick up the supers and move them where they need to go within that basement extraction area, and it's a lot safer than going up and down those stairs with those boxes. With this video, we've looked at how I get honey off the hives and into my extraction space. I hope you found this very beneficial. If so, like and subscribe, help the algorithm recommend my channel to other people, and I'll say good luck and happy beaking.